Hey everyone, Matt Pisarcik from RazorEmporium.com today to do a shootout of epic proportions. The Dovo best quality 5/8 inch razor versus the Gold Dollar 6/8 inch razor. Let's get started. Okay, we're all lathered up with my go-to for review videos, Parasso White for sensitive skin. Love it. I got the pre-shave on, of course, underneath it. You know, a lot of people ask me about the pre-shave product and what does it do from Parasso. It, to me, makes the volume explode. Like, I got a great lather going on here, if I don't say so myself. And whenever I use the pre-shave product, I always find the lather is a lot easier to make and it's a lot bigger and I get a lot more moisturizing kind of effect going on. So, today's review video, I'm really excited about this. We're gonna do two of the most popular razors on the market for straight razors. The Gold Dollar, now this is our version of the Gold Dollar where we put different handles on it and we fix some of the grind and we sharpen them in our shop. Versus the Dovo best quality straight razor. So German made, Chinese made. And you know, a lot of people have opinions one way or the other of what's gonna be best. Let's just shoot them out. Now, truth be told, I am probably a little rusty doing straight razor shaving. My life today is a lot busier than it was a few years ago. And finding the time to do straight razor shave is harder and harder. So let's give it a shot. Slow and steady. Not bad. Now both of these, oh, knocked my brush over. Both of these were sharpened in our shop by the same Hohenmeister Eric on the same stones. So we really are trying to compare apples to apples here. So far, so good. Now, rather than doing one side on my face with one razor and one with the other, I'm actually going to try to do a little bit on each with both. Just because if you straight razor shave, you know that your hand can make a big difference in terms of kind of favoring. Like I'm right-handed, so my dominant side may be a little bit easier. I don't want to give an arbitrary benefit to the Dovo on my right side and then use the Gold Dollar on my left side. Okay, I already have a first impression. I'm biting my tongue just until I can kind of say a little more authority. Very similar. Maybe a little bit smoother on the Dovo. I didn't want to say that. I know a lot of people, think of Dovo and they think of German quality and the pedigree behind German razors. It's certainly more known with Germany. They've been making straight razors for 150 years. You know, Germany is really known for the hollow ground razor. The fact that you take, you know, two big grinding stones and hollow out this profile to make kind of a parabolic curve here. That's a really German thing. You know, before the English were doing big wedges that look like almost like a big axe. Benefit of the hollow grind is that it is easier to sharpen and strop because it does, the way it lays on the stones of, you know, the sharpening stone, it doesn't have to try to move so much mass around. It's really just concentrating the honing energy on a very, very thin piece of metal here. But both are relatively the same size. You know, a lot of people always ask me, oh, I'm getting started with straight razor shaving, and I've heard I got to buy a 5/8 round point. And that's what this is. It's 5/8 of an inch wide. They're all 3 inches this way. They're all 3 inches long, I guess you could say it. But this dimension here is 5/8. The Gold Dollar is just a tiny bit bigger at 6/8 of an inch. Now the Gold Dollar is certainly a cheaper way to get into it. These razors are feeling pretty comparable. I gotta admit though, the Dovo does feel a bit smoother. I didn't want to say it, but it does. It could just be this particular razor, you know, but it is a little bit smoother. The Gold Dollars are nice because if you get them from us, at least I can't speak for anyone else, a lot of people bring Gold Dollars in from China and sell them. I can't talk about the condition from another vendor. We take them, we put brand new handles on because I think the handles that come with them are always kind of cheesy to me a little bit. They're always warped. They have this carbon fiber sticker that they put on the plastic. But we take care of all those issues. We kind of fix some of the grinding issues on the heel. We will put the new handles on, of course, and then we sharpen them. And if you get them from us, they're a great deal. For $49, it's really hard to beat, you know, getting into the world of straight razor shaving. And we say that. This is not the best razor ever. This is something to get your feet wet, you know. Learn more about straight razor shaving. But I always say, if you really like it, you're going to end up with more than one. It's kind of like if you play guitar or another instrument, or if you're into cars or whatever hobby you're into, it's pretty hard to say you just have one of something. Even a photographer has multiple cameras. You know, you probably have more than one cologne. Okay, so I am going to finish my one side. And I am going kind of slow and careful. Again, it's been months since I straight razor shaved. And before that was months, so it's definitely not something I'm doing all the time anymore. I was, for many years, I was doing it at least once or twice a week. But I think you're seeing I'm favoring the Dovo here. It is a little more easy to use. And I'm just kind of going slow and steady and wanting to make sure I don't get a nick. And truth be told, it's probably not the closest shave I've ever got. A little bit rusty, I'll be really honest. But that's okay. I'll just pretend I'm a beginner again. It's kind of like you're riding a bike and you can get right back on, but I don't want to slit my throat, you know. And honestly, straight razor shaving is something that you're gonna have to do a lot. I just got off the phone with a customer yesterday who bought her son a really nice, straight razor starter kit from us for Christmas, and said, gosh, he tried it one time and wasn't getting these perfect shaves. That he got a closer shave with his other razor. I think it was a cartridge razor. And yeah, if you just do it one time, it's certainly not going to compare with a cartridge razor. Now I'm practicing a method. In fact, I'm going to move this over here. Is that okay? Let's knock everything over. I'm practicing a method of using my left hand for my left side of my face. When I first started straight razor shaving, I didn't do that. But I kind of quickly decided I wanted to learn. And there's a good benefit for that. You'll shave the other side with more finesse in time. It does take a little while. See, if I can do this, I guess. It's challenging. I think it's more challenging to do with your right hand, especially if you're going to skin stretch. Another thing is I have 3 days growth here, maybe even 3.5 days growth. We're shooting this on a Wednesday, and I think I shaved last on a Sunday. I play guitar, and I've found that my left hand is definitely not as lame as some people's, especially if they don't use it for anything. It may feel kind of like you're fumbling around to try to use your non-dominant hand, but it's something that I think you should try to stick with. It does make it easier. But anyhow, this lady, I explained to her, I said, hey, I am more than happy to, do a refund for you guys. No big deal, I want you to be happy, bottom line. But if he really does want to learn this, he needs to stick with it. And I tell that to customers all the time. You cannot do a straight razor shave one time and think you're going to walk away some Zen master of the shave world. It's just not going to happen. Especially if you're expecting to get a perfectly close shave, a baby butt smooth shave. I'm not going to get that today. I think with the straight razor, you definitely have to do multiple passes. Definitely have to practice skin stretching. I am going for par. I am going for comfortable and no blood. No nicks. No.
Mention that you can use a safety razor as well.
Yeah, when you're starting off, don't have too much pride to use a safety razor for some touch-up or cleanup or whatever. It's better to slowly master it than to dive in and have a bloody experience. No one wants to see that. No one wants to experience that of walking away and you got styptic pencil or Kleenex, whatever, all over your face. And now I'm doing my goatee sideways here. I have a little bit down, and then I'll try to maybe put a little lather and go a little bit across the grain. Other thing I tell people is before you make the leap into straight razors, it's always a good idea to have at least a little bit of experience with double edge or a shavette. Just because you learn two really key techniques. You learn about angle, you learn about pressure. A successful shave with a non-cartridge razor, whether it's a double edge, a shavette, or a straight razor, all come back to those two fundamental principles of knowing the right angle to hold your instrument at and using the right amount of pressure. And consequences are far less severe with a shavette or a double edge than a straight razor. I'm gonna relather my lower neck down here and clean up a little bit. So we had a couple customers in this week, and I told them both the same spiel, that try out a shavette maybe or a safety razor before you dive into a straight razor. Again, there's going to be some die-hard people that want to do it no matter what. Maybe it looks thrilling or exciting or dangerous or badass, whatever. To use a straight edge, and it is, it's fun, but set yourself up for success. Moving the mirror around. Like I've told you guys before, this is never a natural experience of sitting at a table here and having a little tiny mirror that I have to kind of look at down and at an angle. It never feels natural. So, some people ask about the width of a blade. This is 5/8, this one is 6/8, and why would I want one versus the other? The more width means the more life. The more times you can sharpen it, more times it can be honed. And don't forget, when you strop, you're not removing any metal. You're just aligning the steel. So it's when it gets on the hones. Now if you use a stropping compound, it will remove some metal. I feel like a real novice. This is reminding me. It's like if you haven't played guitar in a long time and you pick up a guitar and you're kind of rusty, or whatever experience you want to make the analogy of. Not the closest shave of my entire life, but guess what? No nicks, no blood. If I was going to be inspected by a drill sergeant and he was going to run a credit card against my beard, I would fail. But I have no nicks at all. I have no, real irritation to speak of. And it was comfortable, and I'm going to call it a success. I was able to successfully shoot out these two, and I can tell you the Dovo was a little smoother. Again, these were sharpened by our same guy, and on the same stones, and I'm a little surprised. I've always told people, oh, well, they're pretty comparable, and they are. They're not like it's worlds apart, but I did find the Dovo to be a little bit more comfortable. Now you see when I'm done with a straight razor, I'm going to take my towel and wipe it and kind of pull through and try to either just barely touch the cutting edge or kind of avoid the cutting edge. Maybe just the very tips of the fibers on my towel are touching it, but that's about it. And I'm also now I'm not going to close it up. I'm going to leave it on the counter. It sounds crazy. I leave it on the counter opened up to let it dry and get the air out from inside the scales. Big mistake. We just had another. I always tell you guys the stories of my customers, but it's my experience, right? Just had a guy come in this week to drop off a straight razor for honing, and he said, gosh, I don't know what these little spots are on my Dovo razor, and they were rust spots, and he's like, I just bought it. I don't know what's going on. And he lives here in Phoenix, Arizona, so it's not like it's super humid or anything. And sure enough, I said, well, what's your routine? He said, well, I finish up and, I put it away. And I said, there's your mistake. You gotta let it air dry. There is moisture, in between the handles. That's gonna transfer right over onto the steel. And carbon steel is like a sponge. It will soak up moisture and it'll rust. So always let it air dry. If there's little ones you're worried about, put it up out of the way so that you don't have to worry about that anymore. But definitely let it air dry for at least maybe an hour before you put them away in their scales, and definitely not in a case. Yeah, that's just my tips. So I'm glad we could do this video today. I'm glad you guys were able to watch me kind of fumble my way slowly and kind of show a little bit of mastery of straight razor shaving. Please, if you have a comment, leave it below. If you thought I did a horrible job, if you thought I did a decent job, let me know. And if you do leave a comment, you are entered in to win this, the official Razor Emporium black and blue t-shirt. Behold, in all of its glory, this cool shirt. We love hearing from you guys. We love sending these shirts out to people all around the world. We've sent a lot out so far. So thank you so much for leaving comments and being part of our channel. Yeah. I'm going to chalk this up as a success. I enjoy doing it, and I think the Dovo razors maybe have an edge on the competition. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time at Razor Emporium for all things vintage shaving.